All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about a masterclass for turning all that chaos in your life into some real clarity.
So, have you ever had one of those days? You're busy from sunup to sundown, your calendar is just packed. But then you get to the end of the day and you're like, what did I actually do? It feels like you've accomplished nothing that really matters. You're just spinning your wheels, right?
Well, here's the thing, and this is super important. It's not you. It's not a personal failing. It's just a lack of a system. We're talking about a framework here that helps you figure out your big rocks, the most important priorities in your life, and then build everything else around them. Because if you don't, the cost is huge. You just watch your biggest goals get buried under this avalanche of tiny, unimportant stuff. Okay, so if you want to build a truly effective life, you've got to start from the inside out. That's what this first part is all about. We call it the private victory. This is where we build your foundation, and you go from feeling like a product of your circumstances to being the one who's actually in the driver's seat. And this first habit, it's a total game changer. It's all about realizing that between something happening to you and your reaction to it, there's a little bit of space. And in that space, that's your power. That's your freedom to choose how you respond. So you're not just a product of what happens around you. You're a product of the decisions you make. You are the programmer, not the program. Think about that. Wow, that quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly shows the danger of just being busy for the sake of being busy. And that leads us straight into habit two, which is all about one simple, powerful idea: making sure your ladder is leaning against the right wall before you start climbing.
So, this habit is really about personal leadership. It's about taking the time to create a personal mission statement. Think of it like a constitution for your own life. When you have that, every single thing you do becomes a deliberate step in the direction you actually want to go. It's the difference between living your life by design or just letting it happen by default.
And that brings us right to the habit of personal management. You see, habit two was the mental creation, the blueprint. Habit three is the physical creation. It's where the plan meets action. And the key tool we're going to use here is a big one. It's what separates the truly effective people from those who are just busy. Let's look at the time management matrix.
Okay, take a look at this. What's so fascinating here is where the really effective people spend their time. Most of us, we live in quadrant I, constantly putting out fires. Or we get distracted by quadrants 3 and 4. But the secret sauce, it's quadrant 2. Highly effective people, they live there. This is the zone for planning, for prevention, for making yourself better. It's the stuff that doesn't scream for your attention right now, but it's absolutely crucial for your long-term success.
Let me give you a perfect example of how this works. Let's say you want to ace your finals. Your big rocks are those final exams and the major papers, right? So first things first, before anything else, you schedule dedicated, non-negotiable study blocks for those things in your calendar. Then all the smaller tasks, the gravel, they just fill in the gaps. See, if you try to deal with all the little gravel first, you'll run out of space and never get to the big rocks. All right, time for a quick question for you. True or false? Spending most of your time in quadrant I, the urgent and important stuff, is the key to being highly effective? What do you think? Is being a crisis manager the real path to success? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm really curious to see what you guys think. So once you've gotten a handle on yourself with that private victory, you're ready to level up. Now we move on to the public victory. And this is where you start achieving some truly incredible results by working effectively with other people. Now, think win-win. This isn't just some negotiation tactic. It's a whole philosophy of how you interact with people. It's about getting rid of that competitive me versus you mindset and replacing it with a collaborative us. It's built on this idea that there's plenty of success to go around. One person winning doesn't mean another person has to lose. Think about a team project. It's not about whose idea wins. It's about finding the best idea for everyone. And that quote right there, most people do not listen with the intent to understand, they listen with the intent to reply. Wow, that single idea is the absolute key to unlocking the next habit. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this could fundamentally change how you communicate in every relationship you have. This gets to the very core of the next habit. Before you jump in and try to offer a solution, you have to first, deeply, truly understand the problem from the other person's perspective. That's empathic listening. It's way more than just hearing words. It's listening with your eyes, with your heart, trying to get the feeling and the meaning behind what's being said. You have to diagnose before you proscribe. Otherwise, you're just trying to force your solution on them, and that almost never works. And then you get to habit 6, synergize. This is where the magic really happens. It's what you get when you combine all the other habits we've talked about. It's creative cooperation. It's when you have a team that genuinely values everyone's differences and uses all those unique viewpoints to come up with solutions that no one person could have thought of on their own. It's not about compromise, where 1 plus 1 equals maybe 1.5. No, this is creation, where 1 plus 1 can equal 3 or 10 or even 100. Okay, so putting these first 6 habits into practice is absolutely life-changing. But, and this is a big but, none of it is sustainable in the long run without this final crucial habit, the habit of renewal. This is based on that old fable about the goose that laid the golden eggs. Think of it this way. P is for production. That's the results you want. Those are your golden eggs. PC is for production capability. That's the asset that makes it all happen, the goose itself. So habit 7, sharpen the saw, is all about taking care of the goose. You've got to take time to preserve and enhance your greatest asset, which is you, so you can keep producing those golden eggs for the long haul. And listen, this isn't some vague, feel-good idea. Renewal is very specific. It happens across 4 key dimensions of your life. And here are 4 super simple, actionable things you can do, one for each area, to start renewing yourself this week. This stuff is pure quadrant 2, by the way. It's important, but not urgent, so you have to schedule it. All right, we've covered a lot, but knowledge without action is pretty much useless, right? So let's get practical. Let's build a concrete plan. This is your blueprint to actually start putting these habits to work, like tonight. Here's how you make begin with the end in mind and put first things first a real part of your weekly routine. Just follow the simple 4-step process every week, maybe on a Sunday. Seriously, it'll take you less than 30 minutes, and it will absolutely guarantee that you stay aligned with your most important goals. It keeps your ladder leaning against the right wall week after week. Okay, let's do another one. Picture this. Your group project has completely stalled out. People are arguing, nothing's getting done. We've all been there, right? So what's your first move? Do you A, focus on a win-win solution, B, seek to understand everyone's view first, or C, propose a brand new synergistic idea? Tell me in the comments. I really want to see how you tackle this. And to bring this all together, here it is, your 7 habits checklist. Seriously, go ahead and screenshot this. For each habit, there's one simple action you can take this week to get started. Think of this as your personal action plan to start building these habits right away. So there you have it. You now have the blueprint. Look, these aren't just a bunch of nice ideas. This is a proven, time-tested framework for building a truly effective life. It's used by some of the most successful people on the planet. The only thing left to do is to actually do it. So let's end with this final thought. Take one more look at those 7 habits. The real question isn't, does this stuff work? We know it does. The real question for you is, which one of these 7 habits, if you really focused on it every single day, would make the biggest positive difference in your life right now? That's the one to start with.